I said this moment would come. I prepared you even when you didn't understand. On the days when everything seemed confusing, when your heart filled with unanswered questions, I was there. Even when you thought you were walking alone, every step was guided by my hand. You didn't get here by chance. It wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't luck. It was purpose. It was divine direction. I have led you here because there is something I am about to release into your life. Something that was already written in the sky long before you imagined it. I saw when you wanted to stop, when you thought maybe there was no point in continuing. I saw when you looked around and everything seemed to be falling apart. And even there, in silence, I was working. While you slept, I was fighting for you. As you cried, I collected each tear like seeds of something new. There were times when you didn't understand the paths, but you still stayed. And it was this faith in the midst of uncertainty that touched me deeply. I never took my eyes off you. In every detail of your journey, I was present. In that door that closed, I was protecting you. In that answer that didn't come when expected, I was teaching you to hope for the best. In that relationship that ended, I was freeing you from what was not part of your destiny. In every silence, there was a care. In every delay, there was a greater purpose. Many looked at you and didn't understand why you remained firm. They didn't know that inside you there was a promise. They did not see what I had planted in their spirit. And even when no one believed, you continued to believe. That moved me. Because you didn't hold on to the circumstances. You stuck to my word. And that's why today I tell you, nothing was in vain. Every pain, every prayer, every night awake, every step taken in faith, even in fear, everything was counted. Now is the time to realize that none of this was a waste. It was all part of the preparation. I don't strengthen you in the middle of war by chance. I prepare you because I know what's coming. And what's coming is bigger than you expect. You haven't seen anything yet compared to what I'm about to reveal. And that is why today I ask you, keep your heart attentive. Don't get distracted. Do not allow tiredness to steal from you what I have already placed before your eyes. Do you think you don't have the strength? So look back and see how far you've come. How many times did you think you couldn't handle it? How many times have you said, it's the end? And yet, it's here. Breathing. Standing. Listen, if you've made it this far, it's because there's something big ready to happen. It's not the end. It's the beginning. And I want you to declare it in faith. Comment now with conviction, I believe in God's promises for my life. This is not just a sentence. It's a seed. And seeds released with faith bloom at the right time. Don't be afraid to believe again. Don't close yourself off because of past frustrations. I am a God who renews. And I am renewing your hope right now. I am breathing life into areas you already considered dead. I am restoring what you thought you had lost forever. What is coming will not be fragile as before. It will be solid. Lasting. Because now you are prepared. I forged you in fire so that you would not break under the weight of the promise. Now you can carry what you couldn't carry before. I'm not just delivering something new. I'm making you new. And it all starts with this moment. This word did not come to you by chance. She came because I see you. I know you. I chose you. And nothing and no one can stop what I have determined for your life. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. Because this is the beginning of something extraordinary. I saw it when no one else saw it. I saw you hiding the pain behind a smile, trying to appear strong when everything was falling apart inside. I saw you lying at night, staring at the ceiling with your eyes full of questions and your heart tired of waiting. I was there. When you thought no one else cared, I had already sent comfort to your spirit. In the moments when silence screamed inside you, my presence embraced you in silence too. You thought you were alone, but I never walked away. Even when your soul said it couldn't take it anymore, I carried you. You didn't realize it, but on the days you couldn't pray, it was my grace that interceded for you. You felt small in the face of challenges, but in my eyes you were always precious. Every tear spilled on the pillow, every wordless moan, every thought of giving up. I was there. The pain that no one understood, I completely understood. I heard your voice shaking in the dark, even when you didn't say a word. I heard your soul crying for help in the silence. There were nights when fear tightened your chest, and you wondered if you could continue. On those nights, I lay next to you. When you thought you were at rock bottom, I would go down there just to remind you that there is no place where my presence cannot reach you. When hope began to disappear, I rekindled little lights on your path, just so you wouldn't get lost completely. I saw you trying to keep the faith even without the strength. I saw you holding tight to me when everything around said it was better to let go. I saw you struggling with doubts, wounds, hurts and memories that insisted on dragging you back. But you didn't give in. You took a deep breath and continued. And even though it seemed small, this step forward was an act of courage in my eyes. I celebrated your every attempt to continue believing, even in chaos. Don't think that all that was ignored. Nothing goes unnoticed before me. No detail of his suffering was forgotten. Every internal battle, every thought of giving up, every time you stood up even with your heart in pieces, all of this has weight before heaven. Because I see it differently. I don't just look at what's on the outside. I see the innermost part, and the innermost part has been tried as gold. Now listen, all this pain, all this waiting, all this tiredness, is about to be transformed into an answer. I am a God who transforms tears into dancing, anguish into consolation, a desert into a fountain. And what still squeezes your chest today, tomorrow will be a living testimony of my faithfulness. That's why I tell you, share this word with someone who is going through the same darkness that you faced. Share now with someone who needs to know they are not alone. What hurt you can heal others. What shook you will be the strength to lift others. This word is not just for you. It passes by you, but has a destination in other lives. Because what I do in one, reaches many. There is someone who is praying right now, waiting for a sign, for confirmation. And you can be that sign. You can be the channel. Just as I used others to reach you, now it is your turn to be a bridge. You got this far because you believed, even though you were hurt. And that faith will be honored. I will reverse situations that seem definitive. I will rebuild areas that seem destroyed. I will restore what was unfairly torn away. Because nothing you experienced was a loss in vain. Everything will be returned in the form of glory. Everything that seemed like an end will be a new beginning. You will see. And when joy comes, remember where it came from. Remember who was with you in the valley. Remember that no pain was wasted. Each dark night grew deep roots. And now that the light begins to emerge, these roots will support something new, something eternal. I know where you've been. And that's why I myself lead you where you are going. You thought you were wasting time. He thought that everything he faced didn't make sense. That the prayers that no one heard had been lost in the air. But today I tell you, nothing was in vain. No tears fell without purpose. No waiting was wasted. No pain was ignored. Everything was told. Everything was used. Each process served to prepare you for what is coming now. You have no idea how many times I entered your story in silence. Just when you thought nothing was changing, I was moving everything behind the scenes. When it seemed like the sky was silent, I was strengthening you without you realizing it. When you fell and thought it was the end, I was using that fall to teach you how to get up stronger. I saw your every choice to continue, even when no one applauded. I saw you being faithful in little. And that's why the time has come to harvest a lot. You can't imagine how much heaven rejoiced when you decided to love even when you were hurt, to serve even when you were tired, to forgive even without being understood. Every gesture of yours, every renunciation made in secret, every time you chose to trust even without seeing it, all of this was a seed. And no seed that is planted with faith fails to bear fruit. I am the God of the harvest. I am the Lord of the seasons. And today I declare over you, your season has come. The days of just surviving are behind us. The time for just resisting is ending. Now it's time to see. See with your own eyes what you could only imagine. The faith you held in the dark will be rewarded in the light. The silence you have endured will be broken with the sound of my answer. Because I am faithful. I don't play with promises. What I say, I fulfill. And what I started, I finish. You looked around and thought no one saw your effort. But I saw it. You thought no one understood how much weight you carried. But I understood. When everyone turned away, I extended my hand. And now, I exalt you. Because you didn't corrupt yourself, you didn't sell yourself, you didn't abandon your faith. And whoever is faithful in the desert will be honored in the palace. Whoever remains when nothing happens is worthy of receiving what many give up before arriving. Now listen carefully. Everything you have experienced up until now has not been punishment, it has been preparation. I was molding you to not only receive the promise, but sustain it. Many ask for blessings that they have no structure to maintain. But with you it was different. I processed you, I refined you, I firmed you. And now that you are ready, I pour out upon you what I saved for the right time. Don't look at the years that have passed as wasted time. They went solo. They were roots. They were base. I am the God who knows how to use even waiting time as a construction tool. What seemed like a delay was alignment. What seemed like rejection was protection. What seemed like a closed door was redirection. And all of this has brought you here, to the exact point where I am releasing something new into your life. Now is the time to take a stand. To lift your head and understand that you are about to live days that cannot be compared to everything you have already been through. It's time to look up with expectation. It's time to walk with authority. The sky is open above you. And what I have prepared will not be interrupted. That's why, like this video and subscribe to the channel if you believe this word was for you. This isn't just a gesture, it's a step of faith. It's you saying, I receive. I believe. I'm ready. What's coming is not just anything. It's something that will mark your story. It will change the atmosphere of your home. It will impact those around you. Because when I fulfill a promise, it doesn't just affect one life. It overflows. It reaches generations. And that's what you'll live from now on. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, was in vain. The moment I promised has arrived. The time of waiting is behind you, and now you are beginning to see with your own eyes what you could only believe with your heart. What seemed distant is closer than ever. What was once a promise is now starting to become reality. You are no longer at the same station. Something new started to move. Something has already been released into the sky and is descending upon your life now. You waited. He believed when everything seemed contrary. You continued even without visible signs. And that's why today I tell you, the time has come. I am tearing the heavens in your favor. I am removing barriers that once seemed insurmountable. I am undoing the enemy's plots that tried to delay what I myself had already determined. The time of silence is being broken. Preparation time is closing. Now is the time for manifestation. While you prayed in secret, I organized details that your eyes could not see. As you cried out, I positioned people, circumstances, and opportunities to align with what I had planned. None of this is random. Every connection, every new beginning, every situation that repeats itself with another meaning, everything is a sign that I am acting. Because what is mine arrives at the right time. Not before, not after. And that time has come. If you feel like something is different, it's because it is. The environment around him began to change. The spiritual atmosphere is transforming. What once seemed stuck began to move. I have already given the order for what belongs to you to begin coming to you. The answer you've been waiting for is on its way. And it will come loaded with details that only you and I know. Details that will prove to you that it's not a coincidence, it's a promise fulfilled. I saw you sustaining faith even when nothing seemed to make sense. I saw you taking shortcuts to stay on the path of integrity. I saw you being faithful in the midst of pain, without becoming corrupted, without letting your heart become bitter. And today I honor your every choice. Today I rewrite chapters of your story with the ink of my loyalty. What was written by tears will now be sealed by joy. What began as crying will end as testimony. But don't think that everything will be the same as before. What starts now is something new. It is not a repetition of what you have already experienced. It is not just a restoration of what was lost. It's something that goes beyond. Because I don't bring you back to the starting point. I put you in a higher place. What is to come has the flavor of promise, the form of a miracle, and the weight of glory. It goes beyond your expectations. Goes beyond what you asked for. And even if you don't see everything yet, trust, the movement has begun. There are subtle signs, discrete confirmations, small events that seem simple but carry hidden greatness. I work like this, first on the roots, then on the fruits. And now the fruits will begin to appear. You won't need to chase what's yours. What is yours will begin to come closer because I have placed movement in the invisible. And the visible will respond. Rise up in faith. Dress expectantly. What seemed to be standing still was just being aligned. And now that the time has come, you will see doors opening effortlessly. You will see paths appearing where there was no path before. People who previously ignored you will now remember you. Opportunities that had been denied will now be restored. But all this will not be through your strength. It will be by my word. My word does not return empty. It fulfills the purpose for which it was sent. And about you there are promises that are still alive. Promises that have gone through seasons of silence, but now blossom in obedience to my time. And that time is today. And now. It is no longer a distant promise. It's a reality that begins to envelop you. This is the time for response. The time to see what you only dreamed of. The time to touch what you could only imagine. Don't be scared by the speed at which things will change. I'm not late. I just wait for the right moment to act. And the right moment has arrived. The time has come. Now that you are about to see the fulfillment of the promise, the enemy will try to sow confusion. He knows the time has come. He realizes something big is about to happen. And so, he will use everything he can to distract you, to make you look sideways, to make you doubt what I have already confirmed in your spirit. But today I warn you, do not doubt what I said. Don't let fear steal what was built with faith. You have walked here with perseverance. He overcame stages that seemed impossible. He overcame pain that seemed unbearable. Now that the time has come, hold your ground. Don't go back. Do not question what I have already confirmed. Remember who spoke to you. Remember who has supported you until now. It wasn't your strength that brought you here. It was my hand. And if I was the one who started it, I will be the one who will complete it. Doubt is the most subtle loophole that the enemy uses to delay promises. He cannot cancel what I prepared, but he tries to convince you that you are not worthy, that it will not work, that it is too late. He wants to tire you, overwhelm you emotionally, make you give up right at the door of the miracle. But today I declare over you, none of these lies will prosper. My truth is greater. My voice prevails. Look back and see how many times you thought you couldn't do it, and yet you moved forward. See how many words I released into your life and they were fulfilled. Why would it be any different now? I don't change. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I don't play with your expectations. I don't feed your hope to frustrate you later. When I promise, it is because I have already prepared the way. When I say it will happen, it is because I have already moved everything to make it happen. Even if you are now feeling the weight of waiting, don't let it turn into doubt. The pressure of the moment does not nullify the eternal promise. Silence now does not cancel what has been declared about you. It is precisely when fulfillment is closer that the war intensifies. It is the last attack before victory. The enemy's last attempt before the demonstration. So keep your eyes fixed on me. The faith that brought you here needs to be the same that will get you through this moment. Don't let yourself be carried away by what you feel. Feelings change. But my word remains. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to trust. I am a God of details. And even what seems confusing now will be made clear when you see what I'm about to do. Your only responsibility right now is to believe. Believe with all your heart. Believing against the evidence. Believe even without feeling. And declare it boldly. Comment now, with faith and conviction, 7777. This number is more than a symbol. It is a prophetic act. It's you saying, I reject doubt and choose to trust. It's you closing the doors to the voices that try to divert you. It is you sealing in the spirit what has already begun to be fulfilled. Write this as a statement of faith. Don't leave it for later. Do this now as a sign that you believe. Don't worry about what others will think. This is your journey. This is your time. This is your miracle. And I will be with you every step of the way. I don't deliver half-hearted promises. What I started will be fulfilled. Even if everything tries to say otherwise, choose to remain. Even if anxiety hits, choose to wait. Even if doubt tries to enter, choose to trust. You are one step away from living what you prayed for so much. Don't miss this because of a moment of instability. You've already beaten much more difficult stages. And now, as the light begins to appear, you need to be firmer than ever. When doubt knocks at the door, answer with my word. When fear arises, remember my faithfulness. When tiredness tries to stop you, remember where I got you from. I am faithful. And everything I promised, I will fulfill. You're not seeing everything yet, but the impossible has already started to move. I don't wait for circumstances to align to act. I am the one who aligns all things. What seemed stuck, blocked, unreachable, is already in the process of being released. While you are wondering, when will it happen? I have already started. And what I start, no one can stop. Heaven is working in your favor right now. You can't imagine how many pieces I have already repositioned for you. How many doors are about to open, not because you forced it, but because I ordered it. You prayed for better days, and now they are approaching. You have cried out for healing, restoration, provision, and I have already sent it. Even if your eyes don't see, your spirit already feels. You notice that something has changed, even if everything still seems the same. This is active faith. This is the invisible preparing to become reality. The heavens are in motion. The angels have already received orders. Situations that seemed forgotten are returning with purpose. What was buried because of time is being unearthed alive. I am resurrecting dreams, rekindling promises, restoring purposes. Nothing I said fell to the ground. Nothing has been filed into oblivion. Everything is being activated again, with even more force, because now is the right time. And no matter how much the enemy tries to resist, his victory has already been written. When you cried believing there was no way out, I was already drawing a new path. When you thought the enemy had won, I had already declared your victory. Don't be fooled by the noise of the fights. Many battles make more noise when they're close to the end. And the end of the wait has arrived. The impossible is bending its knees before my voice. You have no idea how much you were protected during this time. I diverted you from decisions that would have cost you dearly. I closed paths that seemed promising, but were traps. I freed you from wrong alliances, deals that seemed like a blessing, but would bring pain. All of that was taken care of. Don't understand delays as punishments. They were shields. I did not allow certain things so that now you receive the best, without weight, without deceit, without guilt. Because when I am the one who delivers it, it comes complete. And come in peace. So, as impossible as it may seem, believe me, it has already started. I move hearts, I change laws, I open doors in places you never imagined stepping into. I put your name in meetings where you weren't even invited. I touch people you don't even know to bless you. Because when I want to do it, there is no logic that stops me. And I want to do it. Because you trusted, you waited, you remained. Now I honor you with the impossible happening before your eyes. But don't keep it to yourself. There is someone who needs to hear that word right now. There is someone who is almost giving up, thinking that the impossible will not happen. Share this video now with someone who is waiting for a miracle. You can be the confirmation this person prayed for. You can be the sign that I still respond. You can be the instrument to rekindle hope. What I do in you reaches others. Because my promise is not limited to one life, but overflows to many. And when you share, you become part of someone's miracle. It's not just a video. It's a seed. It's a key. It's a door that opens. And what comes after that is bigger than you can imagine. Because the impossible is not a limit for me, it is the environment where I most like to act. Remain with an open heart. Keep believing boldly. The next hours, the next days, the next meetings, everything will carry signs of my intervention. You will notice the impossible becoming every day. Because when I enter the scene, the supernatural becomes the new normal. Get ready. What I promised is on the way. And what is on the way has already started to move. You've come this far, but it wasn't by your strength. It was not your skills, nor your intelligence, nor your experience that sustained you. It was my hand. When everything seemed to fall apart, I was the one who held you back. When the ground slipped away from your feet, it was I who kept you standing. Even when you thought you were alone, you never were. It was I who pushed away what you didn't even know could hurt you. It was I who protected you from accidents that never happened, from diagnoses that were never confirmed, from losses that you never even saw. You can't imagine how many times I was a shield without you noticing. How many nights have I kept your sleep? How many paths I redirected before you even made the wrong choice? How many conversations have I prevented? How many connections did I undo to preserve what I was building within you? Every moment that seemed lucky was actually a reflection of my hand on your life. You have survived storms that would have sunk others. He passed through deserts that empty the soul, and still, he remained. Not because you had strength in yourself, but because I covered you with my grace. There were days when you didn't want to get up anymore, but I breathed life into you. There were nights when you said, "It's over," but I said, "It just started again." And today you are here, not as someone defeated, but as someone shaped by my care. How many times have you thought there was no solution? That it was too late? That the damage was too great? But I entered. I turned pages that seemed definitive. I rescued stories that everyone had already closed. I rewrote destinies when no one else believed. Because where the world sees an end, I see a beginning. Where men see limits, I see opportunities to manifest my power. And even when you made a mistake, even when you walked away, even when you wanted to give up, I remained there. Not out of obligation, but out of love. Because I don't give up on who I called. And I called you. Not for merit, but for purpose. I saw something in you that even you couldn't see. And so, from the beginning, I placed my hand on your life. A hand that protects, that supports, that lifts, that directs. So, don't think that you got here because you did it. You arrived because you were saved. Because it was driven. Because he was loved beyond understanding. What seemed like your strength was my grace. What seemed like your resistance was my renewal. What seemed like your strategy was wisdom that I released at exact moments. Everything was me. And everything continues to be me. Because what begins in me is sustained by me. There is no room for pride when you recognize my hand. But there is also no more room for fear. Because if I have kept you until now, why wouldn't I keep you for what is to come? If I have protected you until now, why would I allow something to destroy you now? I'm the same. I haven't changed. And I remain committed to every detail of your path. That's why, like this video and subscribe to the channel if you recognize that it was the hand of God that brought you here. This is more than a click, it's an expression of gratitude. It is an alliance with purpose. You may even think it was too small, too weak, too imperfect. But I choose the unlikely to show the greatness of my glory. And what's to come will be even bigger. Because now you have learned where your source is. Now you know who supports you. Now you walk with your feet on the ground, but with your eyes on the sky. And it is from this place of trust that I will make you prosper. You are not alone. Never was. And it never will be. The same hand that formed you, that raised you, that protected you, will remain over you. And this is the certainty that will give you peace in any scenario. My hand is upon your life. And where my hand touches, the impossible retreats, evil dissolves, and heaven manifests itself. The promises I made to you were not words thrown to the wind. They were not empty statements to ease your heart for a moment. What I promised carries eternity. It carries purpose. Carry a ring. It doesn't depend on what you feel, nor what you can do. It just depends on who I am. And I am faithful. I always have been. I always will be. You have been through seasons where you thought I had changed my mind. That because of your failures, I had canceled what I had prepared. But I don't change my mind about what I decide to love. I don't take back promises because of falls. I teach, I lift, I restore, and I continue. Because what comes from me is not fragile. It's eternal. What I build resists time, circumstances, and accusations. You need to understand that my loyalty is not based on your performance, but on my nature. I am faithful, even when you are not. I remain present, even when you walk away. I keep believing in what I put inside you, even when you doubt it. And that's why the promises live on. Even when you forget them, I keep reminding you. Because I was the one who wrote them with my own hands. If you could see how I see you, you would never compare yourself to anyone again. You would understand that what I have for you is not a copy of what I have done with others. It's unique. Exclusive. Prepared with details that match your journey, your pain, your commitment, your faith. I do not distribute blessings in series. I shape tailor-made promises. And what I prepared for you carries your name, your story, your destiny. Maybe you think it took too long. That time has passed. That others arrived before. But know this, when I am the one who delivers, time does not delay, it just matures. While you waited, I strengthened you. While you prayed, I aligned you. While you cried, I healed you from within. Because before putting something in your hands, I needed to prepare your heart. And now that the inside is done, the outside will begin to transform. Don't think you're starting over from scratch. You are starting over with experience, with maturity, with deeper roots. You are not the same as before. And that makes all the difference. Now you understand that what is eternal is not measured by emotions, but by convictions. Now you know that promises are not based on anxiety, but on trust. And it is this trust that positions you to receive what I have saved for the right time. What I have for you is not temporary. It's not fragile. It is not conditional. It's eternal. Because it was born from my love for you. And my love does not wear out, it does not fade, it does not diminish with time. Even when you thought you were too far away, I kept calling you back. Even when you thought it was too late, I was just beginning. And what starts with me has a glorious ending. Now is the time to believe more deeply. Not just believing that it will happen, but believing that it is already happening. That my loyalty is active, even in the details that you have not yet noticed. Every morning, I give you signs that I continue to act. Every day, I give you proof that I am still here. And all this is no coincidence. It's an alliance. It's a promise in action. Then, enjoy this video now as an act of faith. Not just because the message touched you, but because you believe that what I have for you is real, lasting, and is already manifesting. This simple gesture carries spiritual meaning. It's like saying, I receive. I align. I believe. What I'm doing is deeper than you might think. It goes beyond emotions. Touch eternity. And you are part of it. Nothing will stop what I started. No contrary word will annul what I have already released. The time for doubt is over. Now is the time for trust. And whoever trusts me will never be ashamed. Because what I have for you is eternal. The time is coming when you will not only believe, but you will see. You will touch with your own hands what for so long you could only imagine with faith. I saw your silent prayers. I saw you delivering your orders without knowing how it would be answered. I saw you placing before me everything that no longer fit in your heart. And today I tell you, the time for a visible response has come. The time for demonstration has come. What you asked for with tears will now come with honor. What you sowed in secret will now blossom before many. What you trusted even without understanding will now become testimony. Because I do not leave any seed unanswered. No delivery without return. No faith without harvest. And your harvest has arrived. For a long time you walked with only hope. He waited without proof, without confirmation, without guarantees. Just trusting. And that's what pleased me. It wasn't the strength of his arguments, it was the giving of his heart. It wasn't the perfection of his decisions, it was the sincerity of his search. I always looked within. I always saw beyond what others saw. And therefore, what I will do in your life will be undeniable. Because it will come straight from heaven. What is to come will not be discreet. It won't be silent. It will be a clear answer. It will be a fruit that cannot be hidden. It will become clear that it was I who acted. Because you will be honored in the same area in which you were humiliated. You will be exalted in the same place where they said you would not have a chance. You will see doors open where before you only found walls. You will see paths appearing where there were no trails before. Because I am rewriting your story with the ink of my faithfulness. Everything that seemed lost is being restored. Everything that was stolen is being returned with interest and glory. Seasons of scarcity will now give way to times of plenty. And this is not a motivational speech, it is the fulfillment of a covenant. It is the fulfillment of the word that was planted in your spirit way back when. And even though it took a while, it's coming with strength. It's coming with the weight of promise. You will see change in areas that seemed frozen. You will feel lightness where there was oppression. You will experience healing where there were old pains. And all of this will be just the beginning. Because what I do, I sustain. What I release, I keep. You won't just see for an instant. You will see it continuously. Because I do not bless you so that you are content with crumbs. I bless you so that you overflow. You thought you would never feel peace again. That good phase would never come back. But what's coming is better than anything you've ever experienced. Because it will not be based on people, circumstances, or human achievements. It will be based on me. And when I am the source, nothing is missing. When I am the one who delivers, nothing is broken. When I am the one who guides, everything aligns. Now, get ready. Start aligning your expectations. Start positioning yourself as someone who believes you are about to experience something great. Because your posture will influence the environment around you. And the environment needs to reflect faith. Don't get involved with negative words. Don't let yourself be contaminated by thoughts of defeat. Pay attention to the signs. I've already started showing. I've already started moving. I've already started delivering. And everything I said, you will see. Because I am not a man to lie. No son of man to repent. I don't make promises on impulse. My every word carries destiny. And about you, there are destinies that are yet to be revealed. Visions that are yet to be fulfilled. Calls that are yet to be activated. You are not reaching the end of a story. A new chapter is just beginning. The time of just believing in silence is ending. Now it's time to see it with your own eyes. Time to live what so many said was impossible. Time to prove that I am faithful. And when I promise, I keep it. I'm not just doing something to you. I'm doing something through you. Because what I pour into your life is not limited to your heart, it extends. It invades your home, your family, those you carry in your chest. And today I tell you, the miracle that begins within you will reach those you love. It won't just be a personal change, it will be a collective transformation. I heard your prayers for them. Every silent cry, every plea made in the middle of the night, every time you knelt down without strength, asking for salvation, for liberation, for the healing of someone who seemed too far away. None of these prayers were ignored. No tear shed for a child, a spouse, a sibling, or a friend was in vain. I am the God who acts because of an intercessor. I am the God who changes stories because of a surrendered heart. You thought you were praying alone. You thought no one else cared like you care. But your love touched the sky. Your faithfulness in praying for those who didn't want to hear about me opened spiritual gaps that the enemy couldn't close. Your perseverance in remaining when everything said it was too late activated my move. Because I am the God who honors intercession. You will see changes begin to happen. Changes in behavior, direction, words. People who were far away will begin to miss the peace that only I can give. Hardened hearts will begin to break without explanation. Situations that seem definitive will be reversed without warning. Because what you are experiencing now is just the beginning of a greater restoration. And it starts in your home. It doesn't matter how far away someone is. No matter how deep it fell. No distance is too great, no hole is too deep, no sin is too strong to hinder the touch of my grace. The same power that reached you will reach those around you. And when that happens, you will know, it was because of your faith. Your delivery. Of your insistence on not giving up on those who everyone had already left behind. I don't just operate individually. I am the God of family covenants. The God of generations. The God who starts with one and transforms an entire descendant. And that's what I'm doing to you. I started with your story, but I'm writing others through it. I started by answering your prayers, but I am already taking action in the lives you have placed before me. The miracle is no longer on the way. The miracle has already entered your home. And I ask you, share this video with someone in your family. Not as someone who sends just any content, but as someone who plants a seed of hope. Maybe that person doesn't know how to pray, but you pray for them. Maybe she doesn't have the strength, but you can be the bridge. You can be the channel that takes this word to a heart that is on the verge of giving up. Don't keep what I'm doing to yourself. Because what comes from me is not to be contained. It is to be spread. You will see with your own eyes people you thought were lost being restored. Lives that seemed hardened being touched. Doors opening inside your own home. The environment changing, the atmosphere being purified, the presence invading every room, every conversation, every meal. Because where I enter, nothing stays the same. And I already entered. I'm already taking action. I'm already moving. Keep praying. Keep believing. Even if it seems like nothing is happening, remember, I started with you. And what begins with someone who truly seeks me, I multiply. You will be a reference of faith within your home. You will be a sign of hope for yours. Through your life, many will know my love. Because the miracle doesn't stop with you. The miracle overflows. What I'm doing in your life won't stop with you. It will turn into a testimony. It will become a lighthouse. It will lift up those who have fallen. Because there are people who need to see someone win to believe that it is also possible. And I chose you to be that sign. Not just for everything you've been through, but for the way you've stayed. By your faith even when there was no evidence. For your dedication even in the midst of pain. You have no idea how many people are on the verge of giving up right now. People who are silently saying, God, show me a reason to keep going. And your testimony will be that reason. Because what I do is not meant to be hidden. I healed you so that you could announce healing. I have restored you so that you inspire restoration. I lifted you up so that you can reach out to those who are still on the ground. People will look at you and ask, how did you do it? And you will answer, it was God who did it. And that answer will carry weight. It will carry glory. Because many have seen your pain. Many followed his moments of silence, his daily struggle, his resistance in the midst of chaos. And when they see their victory, they will understand that there is a God who truly acts. A God who transforms, who responds, who fulfills promises. So don't be ashamed of what you experienced. Don't hide the wounds that are healed today. Don't diminish what I did just to appear discreet. Your testimony is not vanity, it is a tool. It's key. It's a bridge. It will reach people you don't even know. It will cross borders you never imagined crossing. Because when one heart opens, many others connect. And what begins with a story becomes movement. I choose to raise testimonies through those who have roots. From those who didn't give up. Who stayed even when everyone left. And you are that person. That's why I will honor you in front of those who doubted. That's why I'm going to open doors in front of those who closed you. Because what I do in the lives of those who seek me with truth turns into impact. I prepared you for this. You will be a prophetic mouth in the lives of others. You will be a voice that consoles, that confirms, that awakens. It's not just about you. It's about who comes next. About those who are still where you once were. You know the valley. You know the pain. And now I give you the authority to announce consolation. The authority that is born from experience. The anointing that comes from fidelity in the midst of the process. And don't worry if you still don't know how to talk, how to explain, how to reach out. I will put words in your mouth myself. I myself will create the moments, the connections, the meetings. And when you least expect it, you will realize that what used to be a reason for crying is now a channel of healing for others. What used to hurt you will now be strength in the hands of others. Because I am like this, I transform ashes into beauty. I transform pain into destiny. You were prepared for this time. Not just to receive, but to share. Not just to celebrate, but to lift others up. And if you wish to continue being guided by me, subscribe to this channel now. Because I still have a lot to reveal. I'll still keep talking to you. I will still continue aligning you, directing you, preparing you. Every word released here is a seed. And the seeds that I plant bloom at the right time. Your testimony is under construction. And the end will be glorious. Others will cling to your story as an anchor. They will see in you the faithfulness of a God who does not abandon you. And when they ask how, you will say firmly, the Lord did it, and it is wonderful in my eyes. Your story will be read like a living letter. And whoever reads it will find hope. What I'm doing to you wasn't designed to stay hidden. It's not just a personal blessing, it's a seed with destiny. What I have released into your life carries the power to break chains in other hearts. Because what comes from me never stops with those who receive it, it overflows. It multiplies. Reach. And what you are experiencing now is just the beginning of a greater movement. You were not transformed just to live a new story, but to be an instrument in rebuilding other stories. The promise that is fulfilled in you will activate dormant promises in people around you. The miracle that blooms in your home will generate faith in homes that were dry. I chose you as a starting point. A turning point. An arrow pointing to the sky in the midst of a confused generation. So don't hide what I'm doing. Do not silence the work that has begun to happen within you. Don't minimize the signs, the confirmations, the unexpected turns. Every detail has purpose. Every change, no matter how small it seems, is heralding something bigger. When you share your transformation, heaven finds a way to act in other hearts. When you declare what you experienced, you authorize this faith to spread. Don't be afraid to tell me what I've overcome in you. Don't be ashamed of the road you've traveled, nor the setbacks you faced. Every step had value. Every turn brought you here. And now, all of this becomes a map for someone who is still lost. Your journey becomes direction for those who are aimless. Overcoming it becomes hope for those who no longer see a way out. Remember the days when you asked for confirmation? What did you cry out about not giving up? I used people, words, songs, and even silences to answer you. Now, I will use you to be that answer. You will be the voice that says, I know how much it hurts, but I also know that it passes. You will be the hug that says, I have been where you are. And, more than anything, you will be the living testimony that I still do. When I released this promise, it was not just to honor you, but to establish something greater. Through you, my name will be glorified. Through your life, others will know that it is not too late, that they are not alone, that there is still redemption. With each transformation you experience, a new door opens in the spiritual world to reach those who need to see it to believe it. Don't underestimate what is being born inside you. It's big. It's deep. It's eternal. It's not about fame, it's about impact. It's not about visibility, it's about legacy. I'm not lifting you up for you to hide. I am strengthening you so that you may be light. And light is not kept. Light is not covered. Light illuminates. And that's why today I tell you, don't keep what I'm doing to yourself. Do not bury the talents that I have released. Don't put out the flame that I lit. There are hearts waiting for this light. There are lives depending on your yes. There are stories about to be rewritten upon delivery. You have no idea how much life your words can bring. How much a gesture, a look, a memory can become key for someone. You carry something precious. Something that came not from effort, but from grace. And the grace you receive needs to be shared. Because the more you share, the more you fill up. The more you give, the more I pour out. What began as personal restoration is now part of a collective purpose. You are part of something that I am drawing on earth. Something that goes beyond your name, your city, your generation. Something that will reach people you don't even know. And this all begins when you understand, what I am doing is not to be kept. It is to be lived. And lived out loud. You thought you lost. That what went away would never come back. That certain doors have closed forever, that some cycles have ended with no chance of starting over. But I tell you now, what seemed lost, I am bringing back. Not in the same way, not with the same weaknesses, but with a restored purpose, with new strength, with a firm structure. Because what comes from my hands doesn't come back as it was, it comes back better. There are things you tried to keep and still escaped. Relationships that didn't last. Plans that seemed promising but were halted. Old dreams that you put aside, because time passed and nothing happened. But none of this escaped my control. Even when something left your hands, it never left mine. And now I tell you, what was given as an end is about to return as a new beginning. You will see doors opening where before there was only silence. Paths that seemed blocked will be released. Connections that have been severed will be restored with purpose. But you won't be forcing it. It will be me releasing. Because there are things that you tried with effort and didn't work, but that now, with my permission, will become reality with lightness and peace. And this will be proof that it is my hand in the process. You thought that project was dead. That dream no longer made sense. That person would never come close again. But I am an expert in resurrecting what was buried too soon. Time doesn't limit me. I can reverse diagnoses, unlock destinies, align hearts. I can restore what was lost and still return it with double glory. Because I don't just restore, I glorify. It's not about reliving the past as it was. It's about restoring the purpose behind what was lost. Often, what you thought you lost was actually something that needed to be reformed. Something that needed to go away for a while to come back the right way. I know the exact time to withdraw and the exact time to return. And now, I tell you, prepare yourself. What was taken is being realigned to return in glorious form. You will feel it in the environment. People will come looking for you again. Doors will open again. Unexpected invitations, unplanned reunions, news that seemed impossible, all of these are signs of the movement that has begun. Don't question what it will be like. Don't try to understand every detail. Just stay positioned. What seemed like the end was just the beginning in disguise. And the beginning is before you now. Do not look back with regret, but with discernment. Everything that happened served to prepare you for this moment. Pain made you mature. Waiting taught you to value. The loss made you depend on me. And now that you are stronger, more centered, more sensitive to my voice, I can trust in your hands again what once escaped. And this time, you won't lose. Because I myself will be the base. That's why, comment now prophetically, I take back what belongs to me by the promise of God. This statement is not just a gesture, it is a key. It is a spiritual positioning. It's you saying that you believe in what I'm doing, even before you see it all happen. Your faith makes room for the miracle. Your voice activates movement. Don't underestimate the power of feedback that comes from my hands. When I restore, I also reposition. I give new meaning, new direction, new breath. And what is coming back into your life will no longer be an area of pain, it will be a territory of glory. What once made you cry will now be a reason for joy. What once generated fear will now generate testimony. Because what seemed lost will return. The time has come to leave the past where it belongs. You can't experience the new while carrying old baggage. I know there were deep wounds, that some memories still echo within you. But today I invite you to release what has happened. Letting go of what no longer serves. Letting go of everything that held you back emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. Because to live what I prepared, you need to be light. It needs to be ready. And above all, you need to be available. You held on for a long time to what you should have let go of. You kept words that hurt, you maintained relationships that drained you, you insisted on ideas that I had already asked you to leave behind. And even with everything weighing you down, you continued. But now, the time for transition has come to an end. The new is no longer on the horizon, it is already knocking on the door. And you're the one who decides whether he enters or not. I cannot place the new in hands still occupied by the old. It's not that the past was worthless. He had. It was there that you learned, grew, matured. But he fulfilled his role. Now it's time to move forward. To take a deep breath and take the next step. To look forward with faith, with expectation, with a heart full of hope. What happened no longer defines you. What was taken away no longer limits what I will do. The pain that shaped you will no longer be the one that guides you. I'm doing something new. And that requires a new stance. You are no longer the same. His mind changed. Your spirit is more sensitive. Your faith is more mature. And it is with this new structure that you will walk through doors that previously seemed locked. I'm not taking you back, I'm taking you further. What stands before you is not a repetition, it is a revolution. But it only happens when you let go of control, let go of fear, let go of guilt, and embrace the new with total confidence. Don't worry about what will be left behind. I know exactly what you need to bring. I know what should remain and what needs to be left. I will show you, I will direct you. But your role now is to make space. It's saying yes to what you've never experienced. It is believing that I am capable of doing something completely outside the standards you have ever known. I am God of surprises. Of new beginnings that don't follow logic. Of doors that appear in the middle of nowhere. You will see new people arriving. New doors opening. New environments welcoming you. The favor that was withheld will be released. Gifts that were dormant will be activated. Connections that seemed unattainable will happen naturally. And all of this is a sign of what I have already started. Don't try to fit the new into the old mindset. Don't try to repeat patterns that no longer serve you. I'm teaching you to walk on another level. And in this new place, what works is faith, obedience, and lightness. Let go of what weighs you down. Carry only what is eternal. Maybe there is still a fear inside you. What if everything goes wrong again? But today I tell you, it won't go wrong. Because now I am the one who is directing every detail. Now you are aligned. Now you know how to discern. Now you trust even when you don't understand. This changes everything. Because the new does not depend on the scenario, it depends on your response. And your answer is changing destinies. Your delivery is opening new paths. Then, enjoy this video now as a leap of faith. It's not just a gesture, it's a spiritual response. It's you saying, I leave the past and choose to live God's new. This click carries a prophetic meaning. It seals in the spirit what you are taking on in the heart. And I honor every step of faith you take. Because faith is not feeling, it is deciding. Take a deep breath. The old man is falling behind. The new is no longer coming, it has arrived. And those who have the courage to embrace it will see the supernatural happen naturally. You are ready. Because I prepared you. And what stands before you is greater than everything you left behind. Fear not. Walk. I'll go with you. You can look at everything you've experienced so far and think you've already experienced great things. And yes, you won fights that seemed insurmountable. Overcame losses that seemed unbearable. It went through phases that many could not bear. But today I tell you with all my authority, the best is yet to come. Because I didn't bring you here to leave you where you are. I took you to this point to show you that this is just the beginning of something extraordinary. You have no idea what is being released behind the scenes. As you pray, I move heaven and earth in your favor. As you trust, I position people and opportunities around your promise. Nothing you experienced was by chance. No detail of your story escaped me. Every tear was seed. Each renunciation was construction. Each day of silence was a foundation. And now, all of this begins to take shape before your eyes. You may not yet see it clearly, but the ground has already been prepared. The roots you deepened in difficult times will now support a harvest that others cannot understand. Because what I'm about to do in your life goes beyond what you expected. Go beyond your prayers. Goes beyond what you asked for. I am not a God of small measures. I am a God of abundance, of plenitude, of visible miracles and glories that no one can erase. Do you remember the days when you didn't even have the strength to pray? When all you could do was cry? Well, I was there. And while you thought you were standing still, I was rebuilding you inside. Now, this strengthened inside will support the outside that is being built. Because the promise is not fragile, and neither did I forge you to be. You were made to remain. You were shaped to bear the weight of the promise being delivered now. And even though there are still unanswered questions, continue. Because some answers will come along the way. I didn't reveal everything at once because faith is what kept you going. And it will continue to be the bridge between what you do not yet see and what I have already prepared. Trust. What is to come is light, it is strong, it is eternal. It is the work of my hands. And I take good care of what I planted. You are not where you are by chance. He was guided, polished, supported. Each step, even the most uncertain ones, brought you here. And now, I reaffirm, what lies ahead will surprise. Not just because it's big, but because it's the way you never imagined. Because I don't repeat miracles. I create new ways of acting. And with you it will be no different. The time is coming when you will look back and understand that everything, absolutely everything, was worth it. Don't rush, but don't stop either. The rhythm I'm giving your life now is different. The next seasons will require sensitivity to my voice and lightness in my steps. But fear not. I will be with you. In each new day. In every decision. In every step of faith. The new that I have released will not be interrupted. What has been released upon you bears my eternal signature. And even if there are still winds around, keep your eyes steady. For he who walks on water is not guided by the waves, but by my voice. Keep looking at me. What's to come is bigger. The best is not in the past, nor is it just in the present. The best is just ahead. And whoever believes, continues. Whoever believes, remains. Whoever believes, gets up once again and follows. Because you know, that I am faithful. And I tell you, you will still laugh at things that made you cry today. Go to sleep peacefully where before you lost nights in distress. You will walk lightly along paths where before you only saw thorns. Because where there is presence, there is peace. Where there is glory, there is direction. And where I am, there is fulfillment. No area of your life will be left out of what I'm about to do. Everything will be touched. Everything will be renewed. Everything will be transformed. Don't be distracted by the noises of the world. What I am doing is internal, deep, eternal. What your natural eyes don't perceive, your spirit already feels. You know. You feel. And that's why you've come this far. Because even without understanding everything, you remained. And now, go harvest. You will live. You will experience the fullness of everything I have prepared. So now, take a deep breath. This moment is not the end. It is confirmation that you are ready for what I have already released. Let this word echo within you. Feel the renewal that I myself am pouring out. Close your eyes, calm your soul and understand, you got here because I brought you. And if I brought you, it's because there is something prepared just ahead. Something that goes beyond the promise. It goes beyond the harvest. It goes beyond expectations. It's a new time. A new level. A new dimension of my glory over you. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. I said this time would arrive. Even when you didn't get it, I got you ready. I was there on the days when everything was unclear, when your heart was full of unanswered questions. Every step was directed by my hand even if you believed you were traveling alone. You didn't arrive here by accident. It was not a coincidence. It was not luck. It was intentional. It was heavenly guidance. I have brought you here as there is something I am about to let into your life. Something already inscribed in the sky long before you envisioned it. I saw when you believed that there was no purpose in going on, when you wanted to stop. I noticed as you surveyed the scene and everything appeared to be crumbling. I was even working there in quiet. I was fighting for you while you slept. I gathered every tear you shed like seeds of something fresh. There were occasions when you didn't grasp the routes, nevertheless you remained. It was this faith in the middle of ambiguity that really moved me. I never looked away from you. I was there in every aspect of your path. I was guarding you in that door shut. In that unexpected response, I was instructing you to hope for the best. In that relationship that finished, I was releasing you from what was not your fate. Every stillness contained a concern. Every delay has a higher goal. Many people glanced at you and questioned your steadfastness. They were unaware of the promise within you. They did not notice what I had sown in their soul. You kept believing even when no one else did. That touched me. Since you let go of the situation, you were faithful to my word. So, I say to you today, nothing was in vain. Every suffering, every prayer, every sleepless night, every step taken in trust, even in fear, everything was counted. Now is the moment to understand that none of this was a waste. It was all part of the planning. By accident, I don't make you stronger in the midst of conflict. I get you ready since I know what lies ahead. And what is coming is larger than you anticipate. You haven't seen anything yet in comparison to what I'm about to disclose. That is why I urge you today, remain alert in your heart. Stay focused. Do not let exhaustion rob you of what I have already set before your sight. Do you believe you lack the strength? So look back and consider how far you have traveled. How often did you believe you couldn't manage it? How many times have you declared, it's the end? Still, it's here. Inhaling. Being upright. Listen, if you have come this far, it is because something major is about to occur. This is not the end. This is the start. And I want you to proclaim it in trust. Now say with certainty, I believe in God's promises for my life. This is not only a phrase. It's a planting. Seeds planted with faith, however, blossom at the appropriate moment. Believe once more without fear. Past disappointments shouldn't drive you to shut yourself off. I am a renewing God. And I am now restoring your hope. I am bringing life into places you already thought dead. I am bringing back what you believed you had lost for all time. What is coming will not be as flimsy as previously. It will be strong, enduring. Now you are ready. I created you in fire to prevent your breaking under the burden of the promise. You can now bear what hitherto eluded you. I'm not only bringing anything fresh. I am creating you fresh. It all begins with this now. You did not randomly get this word. She arrived because I notice you. I am aware of you. You were my choice. And nothing and no one can prevent what I have decided for your life. Breathe deeply. Let this time touch your heart. This is the start of something amazing. I noticed it when no one else did. I saw you concealing the suffering behind a grin, attempting to seem strong as all was crumbling inside. I saw you at night lying on your back, staring up at the ceiling, your heart weary of waiting and your eyes brimming with inquiries. I was present. I had already sent consolation to your spirit when you believed no one else cared. When stillness howled within you, my presence quietly engulfed you as well. You believed you were by yourself. I never left. I carried you even when your soul swore it couldn't take it anymore. You didn't know it, but on the days you couldn't pray, my grace intervened for you. You seemed little in front of difficulties, yet in my opinion you were always valuable. Every silent moan, every thought of quitting up, every tear shed on the pillow. I was present. I totally got the suffering that no one else grasped. Even without words, I heard your voice quaking in the dark. In the stillness, I heard your spirit weeping for rescue. There were nights when anxiety constricted your chest and you questioned whether you could go on. I lay next to you on those evenings. I would go down there to remind you that there is no location where my presence cannot reach you when you believed you were at rock bottom. Just so you wouldn't get lost entirely, I reignited tiny lights on your route as hope started to fade. I noticed you lacking the power yet still attempting to believe. I witnessed you clinging to me while everybody around screamed it was best to let go. I saw you battling memories that demanded to pull you back, wounds, pains, and uncertainties. But you held on. You kept going after taking a deep breath. Though it appeared little, in my opinion this step forward was brave. I rejoiced at your every effort to keep believing, even in turmoil. Don't believe that all that was overlooked. Nothing escapes my notice. No aspect of his agony was overlooked. Every internal struggle, every idea of surrender, every time you stood up even with your heart in shambles, all of this has significance before heaven. Since I view it differently, I don't only consider what is on the exterior. I see the innermost component, which has been tested as gold. Now pay attention, all this weariness, all this waiting, all this suffering, is about to be changed into a response. I am a God who turns a desert into a fountain, sorrow into comfort, and tears into dance. And what still presses your heart today, tomorrow will be a living proof of my faithfulness. That is why I advise you to pass this word on to someone experiencing the same darkness you did. Share immediately with someone who needs to know they are not by themselves. Your suffering can help others heal. What rocked you will be the power to raise others. This term is not only for you. Though it passes you, it is headed for other lives. What I do in one reaches many. Someone is praying right now, hoping for a sign, for validation. You might be that sign. You might be the channel. Just as I used others to contact you, now it is your turn to be a bridge. Though you were wounded, you believed, and so came this far. That faith will be respected. I will undo events that appeared conclusive. I will restore regions that seemed devastated. I shall bring back what was unjustly taken away. Since nothing you went through was a loss in vain. All will be given back as glory. Everything that appeared to be an end will be a fresh start. You will notice. When happiness arrives, keep in mind its source. Recall who accompanied you in the valley. Keep in mind that no suffering was wasted. Every black night took deep roots. These roots will now assist something fresh, something everlasting as the light starts to show. I know where you have gone. That is why I personally guide you where you are headed. You believed you were squandering time. He believed everything he encountered was illogical. That the prayers no one heard had been lost in the air. But today I tell you, it was not in vain. Every tear has a cause. Every weight had a purpose. No suffering was overlooked. All was said. All was utilized. Every procedure helped you get ready for what is now arriving. You have no clue how often I quietly invaded your narrative. I was shifting everything behind the scenes just when you believed nothing was changing. I was bolstering you without your knowledge when it appeared the sky was quiet. I was using your fall to show you how to rise stronger when you believed it was the end. I witnessed your every decision to go on despite no one applauding. I observed you being faithful in minor things. And that is why the moment has come to gather much. You cannot begin to know how much heaven celebrated when you chose to love even when wounded, to serve even when exhausted, to forgive even without being comprehended. Every move of yours, every secret renunciation, every time you decided to believe even without witnessing it, all of this was a seedling. Every seed planted with trust produces results. I am the harvest God. I am the Lord of all seasons. And today I announce over you, your season has arrived. We are past the days of merely surviving. The time for merely opposing is passing. Now it is time to witness. See with your own eyes what you could only fantasize. Your faith in the dark will be rewarded in the light. Your suffering in silence will be broken by the sound of my response. Since I am loyal, I don't toy with promises. I say, I deliver. And what I began, I complete. You looked about and believed no one saw your effort. But I did see it. You believed no one got how much burden you carried. But I got it. I reached out when everyone else turned away. Now I praise you. You didn't sell yourself, you didn't forsake your religion. You didn't ruin yourself. Whoever is faithful in the desert will be respected in the palace. Whoever survives when nothing occurs deserves to have what many forego before coming. Listen closely now, all you have gone through up to now has not been punishment but rather preparation. I was shaping you to not only accept the pledge but also to maintain it. Many pray for benefits they lack organization to keep. But with you it was unique. I worked on you, I polished you, I strengthened you. Now that you are prepared, I spill out on you what I preserved until the appropriate moment. Don't consider the years that have gone by as wasted time. They traveled alone. They were origins. They were fundamental. I am the God who knows how to utilize even waiting time as a building tool. What appeared to be a delay was actually alignment. What looked like rejection was actually protection. What looked to be a locked door was redirection. All of this has led you here, to the very moment I am introducing something fresh into your life. Now is the moment to rise up. To raise your head and realize you are about to live days unlike anything you have already experienced. Now is the moment to look up with hope. Now is the moment to walk with confidence. Above you, the sky is open. What I have ready will go on without interruption. If you think this word was for you, please like this video and follow the channel. This is a step of trust, not only a gesture. It's you declaring, I receive. I believe. I'm ready. What is coming is not only anything. It will shape your narrative. It will alter the mood of your house. It will affect those beside you. Fulfilling a promise affects more than one life. It spills over. It spans generations. From now on, you will live thus. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, was in vain. The time I pledged has come. The time of waiting is behind you. Now you are starting to see with your own eyes what you could only believe with your heart. What formerly seems far away is now closer than ever. What was formerly a promise is now beginning to come true. You are no more at the same station. A new movement began. Something has already been launched into the sky and is currently falling into your life. You held on. He thought when everything appeared opposite. You went on even without clear indications. And that's why I say to you now, the moment has arrived. I am rending the skies in your favor. I am eliminating obstacles long thought impossible. I am reversing the enemy's schemes meant to postpone what I had already decided. Silence is being broken. Time for preparation is running out. Now is the moment for manifestation. While you prayed in private, I arranged specifics your eyes could not see. I set individuals, events, and chances in line with what I had intended as you shouted. This is all intentional. Every relationship, every fresh start, every event repeating itself with new significance, all of it is an indication that I am acting. Because what is mine comes at the appropriate moment. Not before, not after. That moment has arrived. If you think something is unusual, it is. The surroundings started to shift. The spiritual environment is changing. What formerly appeared stuck started to shift. I have already commanded what is yours to start arriving to you. The response you have been waiting for is coming. And it will arrive packed with information only you and I possess. Details that will show you it's a promise kept, not a coincidence. I witnessed you keeping faith even when everything was illogical. I watched you following the road of integrity by taking shortcuts. I watched you being loyal in the midst of suffering, without turning bad, without allowing your heart to turn resentful. Today I respect all of your decisions. With the ink of my loyalty, I rewrite today chapters of your narrative. Joy will now seal what tears wrote. What started as weeping will finish as witness. But don't assume everything will remain the same as before. What begins now is fresh. It is not a repeat of your past experience. It is not only a restoration of what was lost. It transcends. Since I don't return you to the beginning, I set you higher. What is to come has the taste of promise, the shape of a miracle and the weight of glory. It surpasses your hopes. Exceeds your request. And even if you don't see everything yet, believe, the movement has begun. Subtle indications, quiet confirmations, little seemingly modest activities with secret greatness are all present. I operate like this, first on the roots, then on the fruits. The fruits will soon start to show. You will not have to pursue what belongs to you. What is yours will start to draw closer since I have moved the unseen. The visible will react. Awaken with faith. Dress with hope. What looked to be standing motionless was only aligned. Now that the moment has arrived, you will witness doors opening with ease. You will find routes where none previously existed. Those who once disregarded you will now recall you. Opportunities that have been refused will now be returned. But none of this will be by your might. It will be by my command. My word does not go empty. It serves the goal for which it was dispatched. And about you there are still alive promises. Promises that have weathered seasons of stillness but now bloom in response to my time. And that moment is today. And at this time. It is no more a distant promise. It is a reality that starts to surround you. Now is the moment to react. The moment to witness what you only dreamed about. The moment to touch what you could only picture. The pace at which things will change should not frighten you. I am not late. I simply wait for the appropriate time to act. The perfect time has come. The moment has come. The enemy will attempt to create uncertainty now that you are about to witness the promise's completion. He understands the moment has arrived. He understands something significant is going to occur. So, he will employ all he can to divert your attention, to cause you to question what I have already validated in your soul. But today I caution you, do not question what I stated. Fear shouldn't rob you of what faith created. You have walked here with tenacity. He conquered seemingly insurmountable phases. He conquered agony that appeared intolerable. The moment has come, stand your ground. Stay put. Do not doubt anything I have previously verified. Recall who talked to you. Recall who has so far helped you. Your arrival was not caused by your strength. It was my palm. Should I have begun it, I will also be the one to finish it. The most delicate gap the foe exploits to postpone commitments is doubt. He cannot undo what I set up, rather, he attempts to persuade you that you are unfit, that it won't be successful, that it is too late. He wants to exhaust you, emotionally overwhelm you, and have you give up just at the door of the miracle. But today I pronounce over you, none of these lies will flourish. My reality is more. My voice wins. Look back and see how many times you believed you couldn't accomplish it, yet, you pressed on. Look at how many words I let out into your existence and they came true. Why should it be any different now? I remain unchanged. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I don't toy with your expectations. I don't give you hope to annoy you later. When I say, it is because I have already paved the road. When I declare it will happen, I have already shifted everything to cause it to happen. Though you may be now under the burden of waiting, do not allow it become uncertainty. The moment's pressure does not cancel the eternal promise. Silence now does not undo what has been spoken about you. The battle gets stronger exactly when fulfillment is nearer. It is the final assault before triumph. The enemy's final effort prior to the show. Therefore, keep looking at me. The same trust that brought you here has to get you through this time. Don't allow your emotions carry you away. Emotions evolve. But my word stays. You don't have to know everything. You only have to believe. I am a deity of specifics. What seems perplexing now will become evident when you view what I'm about to perform. Your only duty at the moment is to have faith. Believe from the bottom of your heart. Believing in spite of the facts. Believe even without sensation. Declare it loudly. With trust and conviction, right now, 7777. This figure transcends mere symbolism. It is a prophetic deed. It's you shutting the doors to the voices attempting to lead you astray. It's you declaring, I reject doubt and choose to trust. You are locking in the spirit what has already started to be accomplished. State this as a statement of faith. Do not postpone it. Do this now to show you believe. Forget about what other people will say. This is your path. Your moment is now. This is your wonder. I will accompany you every step of the road. I don't give half-hearted promises. What I began will be completed. Choose to stay even if everything says differently. Choose to wait even if worry strikes. Choose to believe even if uncertainty knocks. You are one step closer to living what you longed for so much. Don't let a moment of instability force you to miss this. You have already overcome far more challenging phases. Now, when the light starts to show, you must be more stronger than before. When uncertainty knocks at the door, respond with my word. Remember my faithfulness when fear comes. Remember where I got you from when weariness attempts to stop you. I am loyal. Everything I promised will be completed. You haven't seen everything yet, but the unthinkable has already begun to shift. I am the one who aligns all things. I do not wait for conditions to line up to act. What appeared stopped, obstructed, unreachable is already being freed. Though you are asking, when will it happen? I have already begun. I have already begun. What I begin cannot be stopped by anyone. Heaven is now on your side. You cannot believe how many pieces I have already moved for you. Not because you forced it, but because I ordered it. How many doors are about to open? You wished for brighter days, now they are coming. You have cried out for healing, restoration, provision, and I have already delivered it. Your spirit already senses even if your eyes don't see. Though everything still appears the same, you see a shift. Active faith is this. This is the unseen about to become reality. The skies are moving. The angels have gotten commands already. Circumstances that appeared forgotten are coming back on purpose. What was buried with time is being unearthed alive. I am bringing dreams back to life, reviving commitments, and restoring goals. Nothing I uttered dropped to the floor. Nothing has been filed into nothingness. Because now is the appropriate time, everything is being ignited once more, even more forcefully. The enemy may fight all he wants, but his triumph is already scripted. I was already sketching a fresh route when you sobbed thinking there was no escape. When you believed the foe had triumphed, I had already announced your triumph. The noise of the fighting could be misleading. Many bouts produce more noise as they near conclusion. The wait's conclusion has come. The impossible is bowing before my voice. You were shielded far more than you realize over this period. I steered you away from choices that would have set you back significantly. I shut off pathways that looked hopeful but were traps. I released you from erroneous partnerships, deals that looked like a gift but would cause suffering. That was all handled. Don't see delays as penalties. They were protective devices. I did not let some things so that now you have the finest, without shame, without dishonesty, without burden. It comes whole since I am the one who gives it. And arrive in peace. Believe me, as improbable as it may appear, it has already begun. I open doors in locations you never thought about entering, I modify laws, and I move hearts. I included your name in meetings you weren't even invited to. I touch individuals you don't even know to bless you. There is no logic preventing me as I want to accomplish it. I wish to carry out this. You waited, you stayed, you trusted. Now I respect you with the unattainable occurring before your sight. But share it with others. Someone right now needs to hear that word. Someone is almost given up, believing the impossible won't happen. Share this video right now with someone expecting a miracle. You might be the validation this individual prayed for. You might be the indication that I still react. You might be the tool to revive hope. What I do in you affects others. My pledge overflows to many as it is not confined to one life. Sharing makes you a member of someone's miracle. It's more than a film. It's a beginning. This is a key. It opens a door. What follows is more than you could ever picture. The impossible is not a boundary for me, rather, it is the setting where I most enjoy acting. Stay open-hearted. Believe strongly still. The next hours, the next days, the next meetings, everything will show evidence of my involvement. You will see the unthinkable turning daily. The supernatural becomes the new normal when I arrive. Prepare yourself. What I promised is coming. And what is on the road has begun to shift already. You have arrived this far, but not by your might. What kept you was not your abilities, your knowledge, or your background. My hand did it. I was the one who kept you back when things appeared to be falling apart. When the ground slipped away from under your feet, it was I who held you standing. You were never alone even when you believed you were. I was the one who pushed away what you didn't even know could harm you. I was the one who shielded you from losses you never even witnessed, from diagnoses that were never verified, from accidents that never occurred. You cannot begin to count the times I was a shield without your knowledge. How many nights have I preserved your sleep? How many roads I turned before you ever made the incorrect decision? How many talks have I stopped? How many links did I undo to save what I was constructing inside of you? Every moment that seemed lucky was really a manifestation of my touch on your life. You have weathered storms that might have sunk others. He traversed deserts that drained the spirit and still persisted. Not because you possessed inner strength, but rather because I clothed you with my grace. There were days you didn't want to rise anymore, but I breathed life into you. You stated, "It's over," some nights. I said, "It just started again." And today you are here, formed by my concern rather than someone beaten. How often have you believed there was no answer? That it was past time? That the harm was too much? Still, I came in. I turned pages that looked final. I saved tales everyone had previously shut. When no one else thought, I changed fates. Where the world sees an end, I see a beginning. Where they see boundaries, I see chances to express my strength. I was still there even when you erred, even when you left, even when you wished to quit. Out of love, not duty. Since I don't give up on who I called. I phoned you. Not for merit, but for goal. I noticed something in you that even you could not recognize. From the start, therefore, I put my touch on your existence. A hand guiding, lifting, supporting, and protecting. Therefore, don't believe you arrived here because you accomplished it. You came as a result of being saved. Driven, it was. Because he was adored beyond comprehension. What looked like your strength was my gentleness. What looked like your opposition was my rebirth. What looked like your plan was knowledge I let go at precise times. All was me. And all still is me. What starts in me is maintained by me. When you see my hand, there is no space for pride. Yet, there is no more space for dread as well. If I have kept you until now, why would not I keep you for what is to come? Should I let anything to ruin you now if I have safeguarded you till now? I am the same. I remain unchanged. Every aspect of your journey still inspires me. That's why, if you understand that it was the hand of God that sent you here, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. This is a statement of thank you more than a click. It is a purposeful partnership. You might even believe it was too little, too feeble, too flawed. But I picked the improbable to demonstrate the magnificence of my majesty. And what will follow will be even larger. Now that you know where your source is, you now know who helps you. You now walk with your feet on the ground but your gaze toward the sky. From this point of confidence, I will help you to flourish. You are not by yourself. Not ever. It will never be. The same hand that protected you, raised you, and shaped you will stay above you. This is the assurance that will bring you calm in every situation. Your life is under my hand. Where my hand touches, the impossible recedes, evil dissipates, and heaven reveals itself. The vows I made to you were not words tossed to the wind. They were not hollow remarks meant to temporarily comfort your heart. What I promised lasts forever. It has a goal. Wear a ring. It doesn't rely on your feelings or your abilities. It only relies on who I am. And I am loyal. I always was. I always shall remain. You have experienced seasons in which you believed I had changed my mind. Your failings caused me to call off what I had planned. But I don't alter my decision to love. Falls don't make me revoke commitments. I teach, I raise, I restore, and I go on. What comes from me is not fragile. It is everlasting. What I create defies time, conditions, and charges. You must realize that devotion is based on my character, not on your performance. Even when you are not, I am loyal. Though you walk away, I stay here. Even if you question it, I continue to believe in what I planted inside you. That is also why the promises endure. I keep reminding you even if you forget them. Having written them with my own hands, should you be able to view you as I do, you would never again contrast yourself with anyone. You would see that what I have for you is not a replica of what I have done with others. It is one of a kind. Unique. Equipped with specifics that fit your path, your suffering, your dedication, your belief. I do not hand out blessings in series. I create custom-made promises. What I got ready for you has your name, your narrative, your fate. You could believe it took too long. That moment has gone. That others came before. But understand this, when I am the one who delivers, time does not wait, it only develops. I fortified you while you waited. I lined you up while you prayed. I healed you from inside while you wept. I had to get your heart ready first, though, so I could give you anything in your hands. Now that the interior is finished, the exterior will start to change. Don't believe you are beginning with nothing. You are beginning over with experience, with maturity, with deeper roots. You are not the same as previously. And that changes everything. Now you see that beliefs, not feelings, determine what is eternal. Promises are now known to be based on trust, not anxiety. And it is this confidence that qualifies you to get what I have preserved for the appropriate moment. What I have for you is not transient. It is not weak. It is not dependent. It is everlasting. Since it sprang from my affection for you. My love does not wear out, fade, or weaken with time. I continued calling you back even when you believed you were too far away. I was only starting even when you believed it was too late. What begins with me has a wonderful conclusion. Now is the moment to believe more deeply. Believing that it is actually happening, not merely that it will happen. That my loyalty is active, even in the specifics you have not yet observed. Every morning, I offer you indications that I still act. Every day, I provide you evidence of my continued presence. None of this happens by accident. It is a coalition. It's a promise being carried out. Then, as an act of faith, enjoy this video now. Not simply because the message struck you, but because you think what I have for you is real, enduring and already manifesting. This modest act has spiritual significance. It's like saying, I get. I line up. I trust. What I do is more profound than you may believe. It surpasses feelings. Reach for eternity. And you are included. What I began will not be stopped by anything. No opposing voice will cancel what I have already set free. Doubt has passed. Trust is now the moment. Whoever believes in me will always be proud. Since what I have for you is everlasting. The time is coming when you will not only believe but also witness. Your own hands will touch something for so long you could only picture with trust. I witnessed your quiet prayers. I watched you giving your commands unaware of how they would be addressed. I saw you putting before me all that no longer fit in your heart. And today I say to you, the moment for a visible reaction has arrived. The time for showing has come. What you requested for with tears will now arrive with dignity. What you planted in secrecy will now flower before many. What you trusted even without knowledge will now serve as evidence. Since I leave no seed unanswered. No return, no delivery. No faith without crop. Your harvest has come. You journeyed for a long time with just hope. He waited without guarantees, without proof, without validation. Simply believing. And it is what made me happy. His heart's offering, not the power of his arguments, pleased me. It was the earnestness of his quest, not the perfection of his choices. I constantly searched inside. I always saw past what others saw. So what I shall do in your life will be unquestionable. Since it will come directly from heaven. What is to come will not be subtle. It will not be quiet. It will be obvious. It will be a fruit that cannot be concealed. It will be obvious that I behaved. Since you will be rewarded in the same region you were humiliated. You will be honored in the very location they claimed you would have no opportunity. You will see doors opening when previously you only discovered walls. Paths will start to show where previously there were no trails. Your story is being rewritten with the ink of my constancy. All that appeared gone is being brought back. Everything that was taken is being returned with interest and splendor. Seasons of scarcity will now give way to times of abundance. This is the completion of a covenant, not a motivating address. It is the fulfillment of the message that was sown in your spirit long ago. Though it takes some time, it's arriving forcefully. It carries the weight of hope. You will notice change in formerly frozen places. Where there was oppression, you will feel lightness. You will find recovery where formerly there was suffering. All of this will only be the start. What I do, I maintain. What I let go, I hold on to. You won't only see for a moment. You will observe it non-stop. I do not bless you so that you are happy with leftovers. I bless you to the point of overflow. You believed you would never experience serenity once more. That good era would never return. But what is coming is superior than anything you have ever known. Since it won't be founded on human accomplishments, individuals, or situations. It will depend on me. And when I am the source, nothing is lacking. When I am the one who provides, nothing is damaged. Everything falls into place when I am the one leading. Now, prepare. Begin to match your expectations. Begin presenting yourself as someone who thinks you are going to undergo something wonderful. Your posture will shape the surroundings around you. The surroundings should show faith. Stay away from unpleasant language. Don't let ideas of failure taint you. Watch for the indicators. I have already begun to show. I have already begun to move. I have already begun to deliver. And all I stated, you will see. Since I am not a guy to lie, no son of man to atone, I don't promise on impulse. Every word of mine shapes fate. And regarding you, there are yet undisclosed fates, unrealized visions, calls still to be turned on. You are not finishing a narrative. A new chapter is just starting. The era of simply believing in silence is over. Now is the moment to witness it with your own eyes. Time to live what many claimed was unattainable. Time to show my faithfulness. And I keep my word. I'm not only doing things to you, I am acting via you. What I pour into your life goes beyond your heart, it spreads. It intrudes on your house, your family, those you hold in your chest. And today I assure you, the miracle that starts inside you will touch those you love. It will be a societal revolution, not only a personal one. I listen to your prayers for them. Every silent scream, every midnight appeal, every time you fell down without strength begging for salvation, for freedom, for the healing of someone who appeared too far away. All of these prayers were heard. No cry shed for a kid, a spouse, a sibling, or a friend was in vain. I am the God who acts for an intercessor. I am the God who alters narratives owing to a surrendered heart. You believed you were praying by yourself. You believed nobody else cared as much as you do. But your love reached the heavens. Your steadfast prayer for those who didn't want to know about me created spiritual holes the enemy could not plug. Your tenacity in staying when all indicated it was too late triggered my action. Being the God who respects intercession, changes will start to show. Changes in language, direction, and conduct. Those far away will start to long for the calm only I can provide. Without cause, hardened hearts will start to shatter. Without notice, events that appeared conclusive will be reversed. What you are going through right now is only the start of a larger repair. It begins in your house. Distance is irrelevant for others, regardless of how deep it sank. No distance is too far, no abyss too deep, no sin too severe to impede the touch of my grace. The same force that found you will find others nearby. Then you would know it was due to your faith, your presentation, of your resolve on not giving up on those everyone had already left behind. I don't run only alone. I am the God of family contracts. The God of all generations. The God who begins with one and changes a whole descendant. And that's what I'm doing for you. I began with your narrative, nonetheless, I'm penning others via it. I began by responding to your prayers, already I'm acting in the lives you have set before me. The miracle is no longer coming. The miracle has already come into your house. And I beg you, pass this video along to a relative. Not as someone who sends just any material, but as someone who plants a seed of hope. You pray for them even if that individual lacks knowledge of prayer. She could lack the strength, but you could be the link. You can be the channel carrying this word to a heart ready to give up. Don't keep what I'm doing to yourself. What emanates from me is not to be contained. It is to be disseminated. You will witness with your own eyes individuals you believed lost being restored. Lives that appeared callous being touched. Doors opening in your own house. The environment shifting, the atmosphere being cleansed, the presence permeating every room, every discussion, every meal. Nothing remains constant where I enter. I already came in. I am already acting. I am already on the move. Continue to pray. Keep trusting. Though it may appear that nothing is going on, remember, I began with you. What starts with someone who really looks for me, I increase. Your house will serve as a source of faith. You will be a sign of hope for your own. Many will recognize my affection all through your life. The miracle continues beyond you. The miraculous spills over. What I'm doing in your life won't end with you. It will become a witness. It will be a beacon. It will raise those who have fallen. There are those who need to witness someone triumph to feel it is also feasible. And I picked you to be that indication. Not only for all you have endured but also for your persistence. Through your faith even in the absence of proof. For your commitment even in the middle of suffering. You have no clue how many individuals right now are on the edge of quitting up. Your story will be the cause for others quietly saying, God, show me a reason to keep going. What I do is not supposed to be concealed. I healed you so you could declare recovery. I have fixed you to motivate restoration. I raised you so you could contact others remaining on the ground. People will see you and wonder, how did you do it? People will gaze at you and wonder, how did you do it? Your response will be, it was God who did it. That response will be significant. It will be magnificent. Many have witnessed your suffering. Many followed his daily battle, his moments of silence, his defiance in the midst of turmoil. Seeing their triumph will help them to know there is a God who really acts. A God who keeps promises, who reacts, who changes. Therefore, do not be embarrassed of your past. Don't conceal the scars that are mended today. Don't downplay what I did only to seem discreet. Your testimony is a tool, not a vanity. It's essential. It's a span. It will touch those you don't even know. It will go beyond frontiers you never thought to cross. When one heart opens, countless others link. What starts as a narrative turns into action. I decide to raise testimonials via people with roots. From those who persisted. Who remained when all others departed. And you are that individual. That is why I will respect you in front of people who questioned. That is why I will open doors in front of those who shut you. What I do in the lives of people who pursue me with honesty transforms into influence. I got you ready for this. You will be a prophetic voice in other people's life. You will be a voice that comforts, affirms, and inspires. It's not only about you. It's about who follows next. Regarding those still at your former location. You are familiar with the valley. You understand the suffering. Now I let you declare consolation. The power that comes from experience. The anointing that comes from faithfulness in the midst of the process. And don't be concerned if you still lack knowledge on how to speak, how to clarify, how to reach out. I will personally provide you with words. I alone will organize the gatherings, the links, the events. And when you least expect it, you will see that what once caused you tears is now a means of healing for others. What formerly caused you pain will now be power in the hands of others. Being like this, I turn ashes into beauty. I turn suffering into fate. You were ready for this moment. Not only to get but also to give. Not only to honor but also to inspire others. Should you want to keep under my direction, sign up for this channel right away. Since I still have much to disclose. I will continue to speak with you. I will still keep guiding you, lining you up, and getting you ready. Every word published here is a seed. The seeds I plant, then, blossom at the appropriate moment. Your testimony is being built. The conclusion will be magnificent. Some people will use your narrative as an anchor. They will observe in you the fidelity of a God who does not forsake you. When they inquire as to how, you will respond emphatically, "The Lord did it, and it is amazing in my eyes." Your narrative will be read like a living letter. Whoever reads it will find hope. What I'm doing to you was not meant to remain secret. It's a seed with fate, not only a personal gift. What I have let loose in your life has the strength to shatter bonds in other hearts. What comes from me overflows, since it never stops with those who get it. It increases. Reach out. What you are going through right now is only the start of a larger movement. You were not changed only to tell a fresh tale, but rather to help restore other narratives. The promise you fulfill will awaken dormant promises in those around you. The miracle that blossoms in your house will inspire faith in houses that were barren. I picked you to begin. A turning point in time. Among a perplexed generation, an arrow pointing to the heavens. So don't conceal what I'm doing. Do not stifle the effort already underway inside you. Don't downplay the indications, the confirmations, the unanticipated turns. Every aspect serves a goal. Every shift, no matter how little it appears, is announcing something larger. Sharing your change allows heaven to find a way to operate in other hearts. Your announcement of what you went through gives this religion permission to propagate. Tell me what I have conquered in you without hesitation. Don't be embarrassed of the path you've walked or the obstacles you've encountered. Every action was worthwhile. Every turn lead you here. All of information now turns into a map for still lost individual. Your path turns for the aimless. For those who no longer see a way out, overcoming it becomes hope. Think back to when you sought validation. What did you shout about not surrendering? I answered you with people, words, music, and even silences. Now, I will let you to be that response. You will be the voice declaring, I know how much it hurts, but I also know that it passes. You will be the hug stating, I have been where you are. More than everything, you will be the live proof that I still do. Releasing this commitment was not just to commemorate you, but also to create something more significant. Your work will make my name famous. Your life will show others that it is not too late, that they are not alone, that there is still redemption. Every change you go through opens a new door in the spiritual realm to access those who must witness it to have faith in it. Do not undervalue what is developing within you. It is significant. It's profound. It is ageless. Impact, not celebrity, is what counts. It's about legacy, not visibility. I'm not raising you up so you can conceal. I am empowering you to be light. Light is not preserved. Light is not concealed. Light shines. So, I say to you today, don't keep what I'm doing to yourself. Do not bury the abilities I have set free. Don't extinguish the fire I started. Hearts are waiting for this light. Your yes determines lives. Stories are about to be rewritten upon receipt. You have no idea how much life your words may provide. How much a memory, a smile, a gesture may become essential for someone. You possess something valuable. Something that came from grace rather than effort. Your grace has to be shared. The more you share, therefore, the more you fill. The more you offer, the more I pour out. What started as individual healing has now become shared gold. You are part of something I am pulling on earth. Beyond your name, your hometown, your generation. Something that will touch others you don't even know. And it all starts when you realize, what I am doing is not to be retained. It is to be experienced. And lived out loud. You believed you had lost. That what went away will never return. That some cycles have finished with no possibility of resuming again. that particular portals have closed for all time. But I tell you now, what appeared gone, I am restoring. Not in the same manner, not with the same flaws, but with a renewed goal, with new power, with a strong framework. What emerges from my hands doesn't return as it was, rather, it comes back better. Some things you attempted to retain nevertheless eluded you. Relationships that failed to endure. Plans that were hopeful but were stopped. Dreams you set away, old ones, as time went by and nothing materialized. But none of this was beyond my control. Though it left your hands, it never left mine. Now I say to you, what was delivered as an end is going to come back as a new beginning. You will witness doors opening when previously there was just quiet. Paths that looked blocked will be freed. Purpose will guide the restoration of connections cut off. But you won't be pushing it. It will be me letting go. Because there are things you worked hard on that didn't pan out but now, with my permission, will come to pass with lightness and peace. This will confirm that my hand is in the process. You believed that project was finished. That dream no longer seemed logical. That individual would never come near again. But I am an authority in bringing back to life what was buried too quickly. Time does not constrain me. I can align hearts, open fates, undo diagnoses. I can bring back what was lost and still send it back with twice honor. I glorify since I don't only restore. It's not about revisiting the past as it was. Restoring the goal behind what was lost is what matters. Many times, what you believed you lost was really something that required change. Something that had to go for a time to return correctly. I know the precise time to come back and the precise time to leave. Now, I say, get ready. What was taken is being realigned to come back in magnificent shape. The surroundings will make you aware of it. People will come seeking you once more. Doors will open once more. All of these are indications of the movement that has started, unexpected invites, impromptu get-togethers, news that seems impossible. Don't doubt what it will be like. Don't attempt to grasp every nuance. Simply remain in place. What appeared to be the end was only the beginning in disguise. The start is now before you. Look back with judgment, not sorrow. Everything that occurred helped to get you ready for this time. Pain taught you to grow up. Waiting helped you to appreciate. The loss forced you to rely on me. Now that you are stronger, more centered, more aware of my words, I can trust in your hands again what previously fled. This time, you will win. Since I shall be the foundation myself. So, say now prophetically, I take back what belongs to me by the promise of God. This is a key, not only a gesture. It is a spiritual orientation. It's you stating that, even before you saw it all occur, you believe in what I'm doing. Your faith creates space for the miracle. Your voice sets things in motion. Don't undervalue the strength of input from my hands. Restoring also involves repositioning. I provide fresh breath, new direction, new meaning. What is returning to your life will no longer be a source of suffering but rather a domain of triumph. What had caused you to weep will now be cause for happiness. What once caused dread will now inspire witness. Since what appeared lost, will come back. It's time to let the past lie where it belongs. Carrying old baggage prevents you from experiencing the new. I know there were profound hurts, that certain memories still resonate inside you. But I want you to let go of what has occurred today. Letting go of what no longer helps. Letting go of all that emotionally, spiritually, and even physically held you back. You have to be light since to live what I planned. It has to be ready. Above all, you must be accessible. You clung for a long time to something you ought to have let go of. You clung to concepts I had previously requested you to abandon, you kept connections that sapped you, and you held on to words that wounded. You pressed on even with everybody against you. The time for change, however, has already passed. The new is already knocking on the door, not on the horizon. You get to choose whether he comes in or not. I cannot put the new in hands still under the control of the old. The past had value. He did. There you developed, learnt, and matured. But he did his part. It's time to go on now. To inhale deeply and go on. To gaze ahead with hope, with expectation, with faith. You are no longer defined by what occurred. What was taken away no longer restricts my actions. The suffering that formed you will no longer be the one driving you. I am working on something novel. That calls for a fresh attitude. You are not the same anymore. His thinking evolved. You are more sensitive in spirit. Your confidence is more seasoned. With this fresh framework, you will go through doors that once appeared locked. I'm not bringing you back, I'm pushing you beyond. What is before you is a revolution, not a repetition. Embrace the new with complete confidence, but it only happens when you release control, fear, and guilt. Forget about what will remain. I know just what you should carry. I know what should stay and what ought to be left. I will guide you, I will reveal you. Your job today, though, is to create room. It's saying yes to what you have never encountered. It is thinking I can accomplish something totally beyond the criteria you have ever known. I am the God of surprises. Of illogical new starts. Of doorways that seem to come from nowhere. You will witness fresh arrivals. Fresh doors opening. New surroundings greeting you. The favor that was denied will be granted. Gifts lying latent will be activated. Connections that appeared unreachable will occur naturally. All of this points to what I have already begun. The new should not be forced into the old way of thinking. Avoid attempting to duplicate patterns that no longer benefit you. I'm showing you to move on another level. And in this new location, faith, obedience, and lightness are what works. Release your burdens. Carry only what lasts. You may still be afraid, what if everything goes wrong once more? But I tell you today, it won't go wrong. Now I am in charge of every detail, therefore you are now in line. You can tell now. You now believe even when things are unclear. This alters everything. The new relies on your reaction as it does not rely on the situation. Your response is altering fates. Your delivery is opening new routes. Then, appreciate this video as a leap of faith. It's a spiritual reaction, not only a gesture. This click has a prophetic significance. It's you declaring, I leave the past and choose to live God's new. It seals in the spirit what you are taking on in your heart. Every step of faith you take I respect. Faith is decision, not emotion. Breathe deeply. The elderly man is lagging. The new is here, it is no longer coming. Those who have the guts to accept it will witness the supernatural occur organically. You are prepared. Since I got you ready. What lies before you is more than all you left behind. Do not be afraid. Stroll. I'll accompany you. You can consider all you've gone through so far and believe you've already encountered wonderful stuff. And indeed, you triumphed in seemingly impossible battles. Conquered losses that appeared intolerable. It went through stages that many could not tolerate. But today, with all my power, I can assure you that the greatest is still to come. I didn't bring you here to abandon you where you are. I brought you to this stage to demonstrate that this is only the start of something remarkable. You have no idea what is being released behind the scenes. I move heaven and earth in your favor as you pray. Your trust guides me in placing people and chances around your promise. You experienced nothing by accident. Every aspect of your narrative caught my attention. Every tear was a seed. Every renunciation was building. Every day of stillness served as a basis. All of this now starts to take form in front of your eyes. Though you might not see it clearly, the ground has already been set. The roots you deepened in trying times will now sustain a harvest others cannot grasp. Because what I'm about to do in your life exceeds your expectations. Pray more. Exceed your request. I am not a God of little measures. I am a God of wealth, of plenitude, of visible miracles and grandeur that nothing can erase. Can you recall the times when you lacked even the will to pray? When all you could do was weep? Good. I was present. And although you believed you were standing still, I was reconstructing you within. This now reinforced inside will assist the outside under construction. The promise is not fragile. I did not create you to be. You were created to stay. You were formed to carry the burden of the promise being sent now. Keep going despite the remaining open issues. Some solutions will arrive along the road. Faith is what kept you going, so I didn't tell everything at once. It will remain the link between what you do not yet see and what I have already set up. Believe. What is to come is bright, permanent light. It is my handiwork. And I look after what I planted well. You are not where you are by accident. He was helped, honed, directed. Every step, even the most unsure ones, led you here. And now, I restate, what comes ahead will astonish. Not simply because it's large, but more because it's the way you never envisioned. I don't perform miracles again. I design fresh courses of action. And with you it will be no exception. The moment is approaching when you will look back and realize that everything, absolutely everything, was worthwhile. Don't stop, but don't rush either. Your life now has a different tempo. The following seasons will call for sensitivity to my voice and lightness in my steps. But don't be afraid. I will accompany you. Every new day. With every choice. At every point of faith. My fresh will go on unbroken. What has come upon you carries my everlasting signature. Keep your eyes steady even if there are still breezes around. For he who walks on water is not led by the waves but by my voice. Keep gazing at me. What lies ahead is larger. The best is not only in the present, it is not in the past either. The greatest is right in front of us. Whoever believes goes on. Whoever believes stays. Whoever believes gets up again and follows. Since you are aware that I am loyal. And I say to you, you will still find joy in things that caused you tears today. Sleep calmly where before you lost evenings in agony. You will walk gently over roads where previously you only saw thorns. Presence brings calm. Where there is splendor, there is purpose. And where I am, there is contentment. No part of your life will be excluded from what I am about to perform. All will be touched. All will be revitalized. All will change. Ignore the world's sounds. What I am accomplishing is eternal, deep, internal. Your spirit already senses what your normal sight miss. You understand. You experience. That's why you have traveled this far. You stayed even without knowledge of all. Now, go gather. You will survive. You will feel the completeness of all I have ready. Now, just breathe deeply. This is not the last time. It confirms your readiness for what I have already let go. Let this word resonate inside you. Experience the revival I myself am pouring forth. Understand, you arrived here because I brought you. Close your eyes and quiet your spirit. And if I brought you, it's because something is ready just ahead. Beyond the promise, something. It surpasses the harvest. It exceeds expectations. This is a new era. A new stage. A new level of my triumph over you. Breathe deeply. Let this time touch your heart.